Hey, welcome back to B&S About Movies. If you want to see the website, go to bnsaboutmovies.com. You want to reach out and send me an email about an episode, it's bnsaboutmovies at gmail.com. Today, one of my favorite movies ever. He is from a future world, trapped in prehistoric times, searching for his past, a hunter of incredible power and strength. In his quest for his origin, he and the woman he loves must battle hostile tribes, deadly beasts, and try to survive the violent forces of a newly born Earth. The first time I saw the trailer for this movie, at the long lost tornado Spotlight 88 drive in near Beaver Falls in 1983, I exclaimed to my father, "We have to see this movie. It looks like the best movie ever." When I was 11, he replied, "Looks like a piece of crap." A couple years later, well, maybe 30 plus, I'm here to tell you that my dad was correct, but he also couldn't be more wrong. Because let's face facts, I cannot hate this movie. It's too insane and obviously made by maniacs who have no concern whatsoever for rational narrative structure to throw bon mots at. It was made as an art film. People probably celebrate the incongruity and sheer madness of it all. But it's an Italian exploitation movie. I mean, it is distributed in the US by Columbia Pictures, but it gets looked down on. And you know what? It aspires to be so much more. If you haven't seen Yor as you're reading this, you might say, "How much stuff is in this movie?" You're going to hear me say a lot of things that happen. You'll wonder, how can you fit all that in 88 minutes? Consider me a witness. I have watched this movie hundreds of times, and so much stuff happens. It's actually a 4.5 to 5 hour Italian TV series that got chopped down into this under 90 minutes film for America. A lot of stuff got lost along the way. A lot of stuff got added too. It's a complete mess, but a beautiful, glorious disaster. So when we first meet Yor, the hunter from the future, he's played by Reb Brown from TV's Captain America. He's the blondest man that's ever lived. He's jumping all over a prehistoric desert, which is really Turkey. But please, let's not be snarky. This is the future or past. We'll find out soon of Yor. He runs into the luscious Kala, who's played by Chlorine Clary. She's from Moonraker, The Story of O, a lot of Italian films, and her old man protector Pag, who you may know as Luciano Pigozzi. He's in almost every Italian movie. He is the Peter Lorre of Italian horror cinema. He's probably most famously, I'd say, Blood and Black Lace is what you may know him from. Pag and Kala are out hunting and playing with a little dinosaur when a bigger one attacks him. Luckily, Yor has an axe and he goes nuts on the Stegosaurus. He makes it bleed everywhere. And seriously, you've never seen a dinosaur bleed this much in your entire life. After the battle, everyone celebrates. The rest of the cave people come out, and Yor proves why he's a little bit different than your average Conan cash in hero. He just starts drinking the blood out of this prehistoric monster. And keep in mind, nearly everyone just starts tripping out when this happens. He ignores them. He keeps on drinking blood. And keep in mind, this creature is made from what I can assume is Italy's finest paper mache. Kala says, "It burns like fire." Yor says, "The blood of your enemies makes you stronger. Drink." Pag goes, "I'd rather stay weak." Yor goes, "I'm Yor the Hunter. I come from the high mountain. Help me cut the choice meats." I have said the choice meats every holiday since I've seen Yor, probably in the mid 2000s. I love this movie. You can get it on Blu-ray from not Kino, Mill Creek. You 100% should. It's relatively cheap. It's about $12, I think. I mean, you've spent a lot more on a lot worse movies. Anyway, we meet Yor. He just ran down out of a mountain full speed, killed a dinosaur, drank its blood, cut out the choice meats. I wish that I had a butcher pattern of a dinosaur showing me where the choice meats and the best cuts are so I could start serving them properly. Everyone keeps asking about Yor's medallion. He's sporting a 70s style gold piece, and a wizened old man smartens it up. He says, "I've seen a similar medallion. Beyond the mountains, it is worn by a woman who lives amongst the desert people. I have seen it glint in her chest when the sun's rays strike it. She's the daughter of the gods. They say she descended to the earth in a tongue of fire, and now she's worked like a queen." Kawa's like, "All right, well, welcome to my village." And we get some Mondo style travelogue footage. Uh, you know, are we ready for Eric Von Daniken stuff? Are we ready for Chariots of the Gods? No, we're in the village. But no one asks questions ever about anything. Stuff just seems to happen. And by stuff, I mean senseless death and destruction. Yor never gets PTSD. Right now, Yor is just enjoying, celebrating, getting to eat those choice meats, and Kala just starts twerking for him. At this point, blue skinned cavemen attack the village. They kidnap everyone but Pag, Yor, and Kala. And if you're wondering how, in this hero's journey, can the hero blunder on such a monumental level, you have not seen anything yet. Kala and Yor forget all about the village being kidnapped and have a romantic walk, which is interrupted by the Blueskins, who kidnap Kala and throw Yor off a cliff. I had a scratched up copy from the Carnegie Library for the longest time that I wouldn't bring back, and I finally had to pay for it because this was out of print at the time. And once I cleaned off the DVD, I realized that Yor didn't fall for that long. The DVD was just stuck. I wasted literally 10 minutes of my life just staring at a still frame of the star of Space Mutiny, Red Brown. But let me reiterate, the hero of this movie just got almost everybody killed, and then the woman he supposedly loves, he got her kidnapped. Why at this point anyone would follow or be a hero, look up to Yor as a hero is up for serious discussion. But you know what? The entire village has been killed by a blundering maniac, so let's just strap in for the ride and see what's next. And what's next? The land of disease, the world of fire, where death rules the land, where people do dark rituals. Shortly, the most awesome metal place on earth. Kawa is rescued. She wants Yor to stay, but he's going to find that crazy witch woman out there. He casually brushes her off and says he's on his way to this place that looks like a Dio album cover. You'd think from what we've been told, but really it's just more mountains. There's sand mummies there though. Sand mummies that run with fire against all logic and safety standards, chasing Yor until he sets them on fire. And that's what Yor does best: accidental mass genocide. What he really does best is fail on a monumental scale as well as fall long distances and survive. He's attacked by other zombies and brought to the queen of the sand mummies, Ruah, the woman with the same amulet as him. Stuff just seems to happen to Yor. He kind of falls into adventures. After having seen the much longer version, it doesn't seem like that in the TV version. But when you compress time, I think they just compressed moments where you're screwed up. Anyway, Yor and Rua have a moment. They're surrounded by dead people encased in ice, and it really seems like they're falling in love. Yor says, "Where'd you get that medallion? What does it mean?" She says, "They say I came here together with these men. There, the ones caught in ice. Why am I alive and they are dead? I don't know. And why the ice is formed in this parched desert is a mystery without answers. But the little water that comes from it is vital to these people, and therefore they worship me as a divine goddess." At this point, Yor could just live in this ice cave and make love to the beautiful Ruah for a long time. But nope, even though the poisonous vapor in the desert sands will be placated by the death of every stranger who comes to this land, Yor decides they need to leave and live in peace. He needs to be released or killed, and now. Yor wasn't thinking yet again. Rua decides, let's just kill him. And if you think Yor is not going to find fire and kill everyone, you have not been watching this movie. He does. He screams and flexes. Red Brown's great at screaming and shouting, and all sorts of mummies get set on fire and blown up in slow motion. The Italians love slow motion. Roa gets a bunch of ice dropped in her head. Somehow, you know what? Yor doesn't screw this up. He escapes. He finds Kyle and Pag again. And we realize 30 minutes into this movie, he has completely wiped out at least three civilizations. He is nothing if not an efficient butcher. Now, however, he's in for the worst battle of his life as two women want him. Roa has survived. Kawa wants him. The blue cavemen attack again. Yor fights them off, but in the ensuing brawl, Roa gets hit in the head again. Obviously, the first time wasn't fatal, but this one is, and she dies in his arm asking for a kiss. You know what? She should really be screaming at him instead of asking for a kiss. But anyway, as she dies, she says to him, "You see, dreams are the only dreams. Things are coming back to me. I see an island. In the middle of the island, a big sea. In the middle of the big sea, a big castle. This is where we come from. Take my amulet and give it to Kala. It is the emblem of our world. She loves you. Kiss me. Kiss me up quickly. My gods are calling me." And that's it. That's last kiss, as the song would say. Yor reflects for a moment on this senseless death, but soon he hears some screams, which means it's time to find another dinosaur, which Yor kills with an axe. He is good at that. Because after all, the one heroic thing he's done in this movie is kill another dinosaur. He, of course, fails to do this and ends up being saved by Pag and Kala, and all three of them are invited to the village. You may want to scream at this children, you're all going to die if you hang out with Yor, but no one can hear you through the TV set. The folks he saved, well, he meets their dad who's like, you saved my wife's life, so she's yours now. And Yor's like, yeah, that's cool. I kind of want to cuck you, but let's talk UFOs instead. And we learned that flying saucers have been blowing stuff up. But first, the women are going to have a feast in Yor's honor. So let's forget that there's death dealing gods from the stars and let's eat food. I mean, the choice meats. But let's pause for a second. Is this the fourth race of people that Yor has met that will all die? 100%. Will we see the flying saucers? No. Let's remember the Italian budget. Something sets the whole village on fire. People are screaming and running in a blaze, but it's an Italian movie, and either an animal needs tortured, a woman's head has to go through glass, or someone needs to be set on fire every 15 minutes. And I say all these things with love because the Italian film Exploitation genre is my jam. It is what I live for. Yor gets in a boat, follows those UFOs, and makes it to that island that we heard earlier Roa talk about as she died. And here's where the twist is given away. And by twist, spoiler warning, but not really, because it's right in the title of the film. Yor is the hunter from the future. Our Earth is his Earth. This is a post nuclear war. And his parents died fighting the Overlord, who is John Steiner, overacting like always. You may see him from Shock, Caligula, Salone Kitty. He's also in Tenebrae. For a while, he was selling real estate in LA before he died. Yor gets captured, you knew he would, and meets the rebels who've been plotting to overthrow the Overlord and his nuclear powered minions. If you say, boy, these costumes look really like something I've seen before, they are from Aldo Lato's The Humanoid. Anyway, Yor's real name is Galahad, and his medallion tells his entire life story. His parents, as we said, fought the Overlord and were killed. He is less from the future and more from an island across the way. But that would be a horrible title for this movie. Yor the Hunter from the island across the way. So let's go with it. Anyway, the Overlord wants to use Yor's genetic material and make perfect androids and operate on Yor's mind so that Yor can be perfect. And that may set up why Yor bungles everything. His mind is not perfect. So at this point, we've gone from Conan to Star Wars to maybe Thunder the Barbarian. Then we find the Elder, the blind leader of the scientists. He helps Yor and the rebels escape. The Overlord fights back. He kicks Yor's ass. Yor comes back and impales him because Yor's good, we said, at efficient butchery. The Overlord somehow survives this and struggles to blow up his base, but Yor and his crew do what they do best. They kill a whole bunch of people. Instead of a dream race of hybrid clones, future people and cave people are about to get it on, all fallen angel Nephilim style, as Yor is going to bring the world back. As we see a spaceship fly away, the narrator says Yor returns to the primitive tribes on the mainland. He's determined to use his superior knowledge, I should say, to prevent them making the same mistakes as their forefathers. Will he succeed? I'm going to say no from what we've seen. You know, the best thing about this movie, obviously, is the theme song by Oliver Onions. Yours World, He's the Man. Lost in the World of the Past, I'm not going to sing it. And the Echo of an Ancient Blast, Yours World. It is really amazing. It has the words, You're the touch of fire. You're the proud and free desire. He never sees the sun. He's always on the run. Him and his days are gone. They say he'll go on. His search goes on and on. And this movie is in no way boring. It is done by Antonio Marghetti, who is one of my favorite directors. It is amazing. He cut down 4 55-minute TV series episodes. If this feels like it's something out of heavy metal, that's probably why. Yor originally started as a European comic, uh, and there's been rumors that there was going to be a new comic, be a new movie, a whole bunch of stuff. I would recommend you search out and find Yor. It is really great. I would say, man, is it the best Red Brown movie? It's not the best Antonio Marghetti movie. He made so many great films, but I would 100% recommend it. Is there a movie you'd like me to cover in the future? Would you like me to breathlessly go on about other Italian caveman and sword and sorcery classics? What do you want to hear? Come to the website B&S About Movies. Send me an email at bnsaboutmovies@gmail.com, and I will see you on the next episode.